Do you have a bedtime routine? I'll say that again. Do you actually have a bedtime routine that you do? Actually, it starts throughout the day, but that you do to get you some great, amazing sleep every night. Recently, Dr. Michael Breus did a really great video on having a bedtime routine where he really gave some awesome tips. I wanted to kind of add to those tips and really break them down into basically sections of the day. So we're going to look at morning, afternoon, evening, and sleep. Before we get started, my name is Dr. Robyn Scott. I am a clinical pharmacist and sleep health coach. I am here as your sleep healer to help you get the most amazing sleep ever. So we're going to start from the morning routine. Yes, your morning routine is going to help dictate how well you sleep in the night. So one of the first things we do is you want to have a really good morning routine for your spirit and your soul. A lot of my clients come to me and really wanting more productivity, just to be more energetic, overall be more happy and content with life. Studies have shown that those people who have a spiritual life where they can turn to a higher power, either through prayer, have a gratefulness, thankfulness practice, a meditation practice, first thing in the morning actually helps you to be more content and overall happy in life. So that's actually one of the first steps. And it doesn't have to take long. It can be a 5-minute practice that's something special to you. Number two, you want to be getting that sunlight in. Now, if it's a cloudy day and there's no sunlight right away, bright lightings from like a ring light or some of the other lighting tools will work. You want to get about 30 to 60 minutes of this lighting in when you first wake up. This helps to set your circadian rhythm so that you're no longer secreting melatonin. It sends to the body, wake up, melatonin shut off, and it's time to get going for your day. You also want to engage in some movement in the morning. A lot of times we're naturally getting up and moving about anyway, so that's kind of something naturally we do. It doesn't have to be running a marathon or heading straight to the gym. It can be something as simple yoga, stretching, Pilates, just really getting that movement in. Also, maintaining good hydration. When clients come to me and they're telling me they're grabbing that first cup of coffee first thing in the morning, that's a complete no-no. You want to stay well hydrated with high quality water as much as possible. So a rule of thumb I tell my clients is divide their weight in ounces in half. So let's just say if someone weighed 200 pounds, they would divide that weight in half. That would be 100, and that would be 100 of ounces of water that they should drink throughout the day. So not just in the morning. They want to spread that throughout the day. So staying well hydrated helps you to really get that good night's sleep at night. You want to have a cutoff time for your caffeine in the morning. So the recommendation is usually to wait anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours before you have that first cup of coffee. I would highly recommend, and I know a lot of people aren't ready for this, to really rethink your definitely your need for coffee. Caffeine is a drug. I'll say that again. As a pharmacist, when I look in my drug books, caffeine is listed there. We actually used it. I was a pediatric pharmacist for years, and we use it in the neonatal intensive care unit as a drug to treat sleep apnea for the neonatal babies. So it is a drug. Now, it's not, a serious hardcore drug, but it is a drug that does come with side effects. So some things I've been working on with those clients who desire that to slowly limit their dependency on that morning cup of coffee. But if you just love to have that cup of coffee, had a cup off time in the morning, usually about 11 to 12ish. You shouldn't have any more coffee after that so that you can sleep well at night. One of the next things I want to talk about is around 11:30, anywhere to about 2:30, some people may embark on a nap. I am a personal fan of nap time. I schedule nap time for myself every day around lunchtime. I take a nap. Now, there are some rules to napping so that it won't interfere with bedtime. It needs to be short, a 20 to 30-minute power nap. It needs to be between 11:30 and 2:30. So you can't take a nap around 5 or 6 in the evening without interrupting your sleep. So if you follow some of these rules for nap times, you can have a great nap time. So that's the morning routine to help you sleep better at night. Let's look at some of the afternoon things. One of the things we assume too in the morning that you have eaten a nutritious, healthy breakfast and you're continuing that into lunch. It is very, very difficult to get good sleep if you're eating fast food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and junk food in between for your snacks. One of the things I always go over with my clients, we go over a full body health system because it's very, very difficult to get to sleep. Once again, when you're filled with unfoods, non-foods, fast foods, and junk foods, you should be eating a healthy whole food diet. In terms of getting into the afternoon, you also want to look at your drinking your beverages for the day. You should be getting close to wrapping up from the morning and the afternoon your hydration. If you're waiting too late in the evening, that can interrupt and actually cause you to have to get up to use the bathroom at night. So you don't want to do that. Some of the things you also want to do in the afternoon is when it comes time to having your evening meal, having a cutoff time. So definitely lunch around 12 or 1-ish with a break in between. A nice pick-me-up is a watermelon smoothie. I have some great recipes for smoothies down below. You can see in some of the link information below. So definitely doing things to kind of get that pick-me-up going so that you can make it into that evening time. So we'll start looking at what you should be doing in the evening. So we covered morning, afternoon, and now we're getting to evening. So we're looking at your evening meal, your dinner. Should ideally be around 6 p.m. That's a great time for your evening dinner. You want to leave 3 hours in between your evening meal, your heaviest meal of the evening, into when you're going to bed at night so that your body can focus on rest and actually not digesting the food. When you come home in the evening, we should start dimming the lights. Looking at what's going on outside really kind of will give us our tips. As the sun is moving over, we will see that our house is getting darker during the evening naturally. We should not have, all the bright fluorescent lights on, all these lights on in our home. We should naturally be dimming these lights. We already talked about stopping beverages. Another thing, I have clients who, they love to have an evening wine with dinner. Once again, I'd like people to kind of rethink alcohol. It definitely has a lot of negative effects on the body. But if they love an evening wine, definitely have a cutoff time for that, very similar to the food, so about 3 hours with the evening dinner. So some of the other things I like to really encourage my clients a lot, begin really setting the tone. We already talked about lighting. Also look at definitely the tone in your home. So dimming the lights is really a great idea. If you can get a hold of full spectrum light bulbs, not the really bright fluorescent ones, the full spectrum light bulbs, they will be better on you in terms of the blue lighting. We all know that blue lighting that emits from our cell phones, our computers, our laptops, they actually disrupt melatonin production. So that's something we kind of want to definitely decrease once evening comes. If you are really a fan of aromatherapies, your house should be filled with definitely calming therapies after a hard day of work. So we're looking at a lot of our traditional therapies like lavender, but there's some other ones too, like vetiver is one of my favorite, neroli, rose, chamomile. There's a lot of different types of aromatherapy that you can have just going gently throughout your home that's very calming and soothing and a form of self-care to get ready for bed that night. Another part of the evening routine is actually taking either a warm bath, a warm shower, or a warm foot soak. Ideally in the bath and the foot soak, you're using magnesium. So either your Epsom salts or magnesium chloride. Magnesium is an overall muscle relaxant for the entire body. So it's a very relaxing, soothing mineral. It's also estimated that about 70% of Americans are deficient in magnesium. So it's something we really need for our heart function. We need it really for all the functions of the body. I have to do a whole separate video on magnesium one day. You also want to begin to adjust the temperature in your house, and so that your bedroom is anywhere from like 67 to about 72 degrees at nighttime. We tend to sleep better with cooler temperatures. So make sure if you've had the heat up earlier, or if you need to turn on your air conditioner to cool things down. A nighttime fan is also a good option, either an overhead fan or a floor fan, or an opening your windows to get good air circulation. A bit bonus too, I've had a lot of clients who live in like big cities and polluted areas. They find that they get much better sleep if they have an air purifier in their room. So begin to turn that on to get that air purified in that bedroom so that you're going to bed with fresh, wonderful air so that you can get a great night's sleep. We already talked about having a cutoff time for that. So now we're going to go into the bedtime. So we talked about what you should be doing in the morning, afternoon, evening. Now let's look at the bedtime. So you're done with your soak, your shower. It's time to reflect on how your day went, on the positivity of the day. Definitely practicing gratitude and being thankful. I know there's so many things going on in the world that sometimes it's hard to do that. But having that gratitude practice is really important for our emotional, mental, even our physical health. Our cells respond positively to us being thankful. It's also a good idea. A lot of the people who come to me for stress-induced insomnia. So we're looking at what are things you can do the night before to reduce that stress. Prepare as much as possible for the next day that you can do for the night before. You also want to look at planning out your tomorrow and even some other days in the week. You will go to sleep feeling better and able to relax, that you know that things are planned and ready to take place. A lot of people spend a lot of time doing what we call, and I think I've gone over this in my videos, doom scrolling. They're scrolling on that phone before bedtime. You should really be cutting out screens about an hour before bed. Once again, those screens emit what they call a lot of blue lighting. That blue light disrupts melatonin, decreases its production, therefore causing us problems to go to sleep at night. So definitely have a cutoff time of about 1 hour before bed for that. Definitely you can engage in some deep breathing relaxation. Just taking that deep breath, that just felt good right there. It doesn't have to be a formal breathing practice or exercise, but there are a lot here on YouTube, tons of deep breathing exercises for you to actually enact and really practice with them. People will show you how to do those. You're going to get more oxygen to the brain, more oxygen to the whole body, and just feel overall more relaxed and ready to go to sleep. Some other things that may help you at that bedtime is really if you want to read some non-stimulating material. Once again, don't read it on your tablet, read it in an old-fashioned book, paper format, and you want it to be something very calming and soothing at night. No horror stories, no mysteries, nothing to excite you, only things that are calming. Some things to listen to, various music can definitely be relaxing, affirmations, subliminals, and even adult bedtime stories have become so popular lately to help people get to sleep. So now here we are. We've done our morning routine, our evening routine. We did that, we'll call that the beginning bedtime. Now we're ready to go to bed. Empty your bladder. Even if you feel like, hey, I don't really have to use the bathroom, empty it anyway, so you can make sure that you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to use the restroom. Gather all your comfy tools like your weighted blanket, weighted eye mask, whatever type of tools that you love and need for a great night's sleep. Go ahead and gather those. You want to close your curtains. Make sure you have blackout shades in place. If it's really noisy environment, earplugs is also a great idea, or a white noise machine to kind of diffuse some of that noise. You want to keep your bed as a place for intimacy and sleeping only. And I know I've been guilty of this myself, having that laptop in our beds. Once again, that's a lot of blue lighting that's interfering with us, and it's not really giving that good boundary that we need between work and sleep and play. We need to get the tech out the bedroom completely and definitely just have that soothing, quiet time before bedtime. Just like we started our day with a spirituality practice, I always encourage my clients, now it's time to end the day with a practice where you can put your worries, your fears, your anxieties onto a higher power and have that trust and faith to know that there's going to be taken care of in that special prayer time that you're going to have. You want to be consistent in this bedtime. We have clients who come to us, they'll go to bed, pretty consistently during the week, but at weekends, it's all out the window. During the week and the weekends, you want to have that consistent bedtime. It's best to be asleep between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Those are really key times to be asleep because you secrete the most melatonin during that time. And they're finding melatonin isn't just for sleep, it actually heals. It's a very healing hormone for the body. So that's why they're finding in a lot of studies people definitely increase their risk for chronic diseases when they don't get the sleep that they require and they need. So thank you so much today. I hope I really shed some light on that excellent bedtime routine checklist. Definitely check the links down below. We have some great resources from you, additional checklists. We have this checklist if you'd like it just on paper so that you can go and just check it bit by bit yourself. Thank you again. This is Dr. Robyn Scott, your sleep healer, and I'll see you next time.